Hey again, this is Tom from GDJacobs.com, and this is a second excerpt of the new podcast I'm doing with my friend Chris Mitchell, um, called Empowered Astrology. It has its own YouTube channel, so in the description below, you'll see the links to it. But right now, as of this recording on Monday, April 3rd, I guess, there are 3 episodes posted. And also, I'll post a link to the Patreon uh, dealio, which has extras. And so we've already put out a monthly forecast for April in 2 parts, and then also major transits of the year. So today, this excerpt that you're going to see, it's almost 6 minutes, is on the Libra full moon from the April forecast. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it and you subscribe to my channel and also Empowered Astrology here on YouTube, and also the Patreon subscription thing. Every month we'll be doing a monthly forecast plus something, at least one thing extra. All right, thank you for your time and energy, and I'm looking forward to sharing more teachings with you. Take care.
So, in that context, there's a lot of focus on what I'm experiencing, what I want, what I don't want. Libra full moon, the full moon reflects as much of the light of the sun as is possible. So, something can come into the light of conscious awareness, is a phrase I've always liked to use. So, we become aware of a Libra counterbalance or counterpoint. So Libra obviously is about relating to each other or creating fairness and balance and harmony together. We think it's about relationship, but I think it's about learning to be in relationship, learning how to show up as an equal, learning to listen, but also learning to put ourselves in someone's shoes, but also learning how to tell people who we are, what we want and don't want, and saying yes and no. So with that Sun, Jupiter, Chiron might be really sensitive about something, and the Libra full moon can come in and you or other people can have a realization about what is fair, or how can we approach this dialogue in a new way, or if someone's bent out of shape or feeling unloved or unsupported or unserved, the Libra and full moon can open up more dialogue if people are willing. One person in a dynamic might have a realization, oh, is this why you always respond this way when I do that thing? And the other person says, I think you're right. And the dialogue changes and advances and evolves. It can also be being kind to each other, like seeing you in stress and I offer you kind support and it snaps you out of a thing in your head, or something like that. So it can be doing something together to get us out of our heads is another way of thinking about that, another level. I mean, there's a million things I can say, but this is kind of, the Libra and full moon says, wait a minute, Aries, Sun, Jupiter, Chiron. Is that the whole story? No, here's my perspective. And it could be opening to ask for help. Again, I just keep going here, but yeah.
Yeah, and it'll show up differently for everyone based on what it's aspecting, what houses it's in their personal chart.
That's right.
And various other factors, So, but these are the archetypal themes that are being lit up by this full moon for all of us, one way or another.
Yeah, I want to add one more thing about Pallas Athene, the asteroid in Cancer at squaring this. So in that dialogue of self versus other, or how can I help you, go away, whatever that dialogue is, Pallas Athene squares it. So there's a thing about loyalty to either family or emotional connections, and it might be something like, I'm going to try to find the best way to tell you this, but it might be hurtful, right? But I'm going to say it with kindness, because that says to me, some of us might try to walk on eggshells to not hurt each other. Pallas Athene can be loyalty to something, can also be distancing ourselves from something. So in Cancer, it's I just got that image of, essentially codependency. I don't want to harm you, so I don't want to say this thing that I think might trigger this other thing that's in your experience that I know about. So I'll just I'll stay quiet and I won't tell the truth, or I won't assert independence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
that's somewhere in the mix of the opposition between the Aries and the Libra. There's also this kind of Cancerian palace, somewhere in there, maybe triggering part of what unfolds in the fullness of the lunation. Somewhere in the mix, we've got this palace factor.
Yeah. For some reason, I get this random image of people planning, two people who are friends planning time together, and then one of them has to back out for some self-interested reason, for some self-care reason or something, and doesn't know that day is some special anniversary in the other person's life. And so it's like this whole this thing about, you know, the anniversary of something that happened or something. And it's like, the more honesty, the better. Let's not try to avoid hurting each other, but let's find ways to constructively, compassionately communicate, you know, where people have soft spots and hot button issues and vulnerabilities that are hard to deal with. So, yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to say about that.
I'm thinking of how, because sometimes I think of these T-squares of, like, you know, one thing squaring another, which is then squaring another, which is opposite the first thing, that there can be like a domino effect of that can kind of happen with them. So I'm thinking maybe we're moving through Aries season. We're focused on that Aries independence and taking action, though, like you say, it's maybe some sensitivity, some stuff with Chiron and Jupiter. But then we run into somehow a sensitive part of us, or an emotion, and then that somehow can lead to a Libran discussion happening.
That's right.
To reconcile and resolve the thing that came up while we were trying to maybe move forward with ourselves.
Right. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah.